This is Dr. Indy again from Serving Nerds Consulting and Clinic Comrade CRM. And in this video, I'll be covering part 3 on when it comes to the topic on why most businesses fail. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. Another reason why most businesses fail is insufficient fund. Now, this might sound very obvious, but you'll be surprised on how many business owners, don't do their due diligence in order for them to avoid this pitfall. And that is why my goal here is to state the obvious. And like I mentioned in my first video, that it will be important for us to look at these potential end results, which is the failure that we all are afraid of, but we can reverse engineer that to avoid, the elements that lead to this. So insufficient fund, one of the reasons, as earlier mentioned, is not doing your due diligence. Now, I will break this segment in 2 different parts. The first is covering businesses that maybe are looking to maybe run a brick and mortar kind of business. And so when it comes to that, when a business owner, when you are trying to launch your business and you secure a space, or you're trying to, get things from the ground up, do yourself a favor. If for those that are trying to buy a business from a previous owner, do yourself this favor and ensure that you have an inspector that inspects the area, so that if there's any plumbing issues, electrical issues, whatever it is, you could use that to renegotiate whatever your deal is with the previous owner, especially if you're trying to buy the space. And even if you're trying to lease, the same thing goes. You could always use the information you get from the inspector to kind of negotiate maybe the price or the cost of what the space would cost. To negotiate the cost of the space, whether you're leasing or whether you're buying it outright. So that is my point in terms of how to, ensure that you're doing your due diligence. And when you do that, ensure that you could always do yourself a favor. You could always overestimate whatever the cost to be when you're making your business plan. You are safer overestimating, so that if you are under, you are safe. You still have that cushion. So that's another way to avoid, some of these, these insufficient fund issues. So that is the first part to this segment, that, doing your due diligence so that you can, get a better, view, a better insight to what it will cost you, to get your business off the ground. Now, on the other hand, for those that may want to start, with maybe little to nothing, there are definitely businesses that can get you in that direction. Now, for those people, all you have to do is, again, do your research. But you also need to keep in mind that it will also require you to be open-minded, because I'll use myself as an example. I'm a pharmacist. And when I began my journey on wanting to branch out on my own, the first thing that came to my mind was, open my own pharmacy. But then the other thing that I factored was I wouldn't want to run a business that would cost me, that would be capital intensive. And so I decided to look into, the online space, just to see, if I can achieve, owning a business and operating a business without, the heavy capital. And that is really how I got started. So I was able to learn, a new skill that is outside of my practice. And I was able to, build that skill up to the place where I was able to, start acquiring clients and, getting, exchanging my skills for their money. And, I was able to build, things up. And eventually, whatever money that I made in the beginning, I was able to now snowball, it's kind of like what we call the snowball effect. And, take whatever profits that I made or whatever I made and just kind of, add it, into a new venture. And over the course of time, it's how I was able to get to the place where I'm at, where my wife and I were able to, get a software, our own CRM that we provide, to businesses, local businesses. So that is basically what I'm making reference to, that you would definitely need to be open-minded. My open-mindedness really was heavily beneficial to me, because assuming I was just hell-bent on starting my pharmacy, which is not a bad idea, but for reasons that are personal to me was why I didn't go in that direction. And in your own case, it could also be similar, where you just want to start a business that doesn't require that much capital, from you. And as you start, you start small, and as you start small, you gradually build your way up. So that is another way you could ensure that you don't have this insufficient, funding become problematic in terms of you succeeding in business. And so lastly, and this goes either way, the last point to this insufficient fund, and this is the solution to avoid this pitfall, is just look, scout out there for grants. You'll be surprised on how many business grants that are available. Now, something to keep in mind, it will require hard work and patience, because it's not every grant you apply for that you would be given the green light or the thumbs up. There'll be a lot of rejections, because of you'll be competing with several others, for that same grant. But your resilience and tenacity in securing these funds would eventually pan out. So that's why I encourage you to be, consistent, be persistent, and exercise patience, so that even when you don't get a particular grant, you turn around and go for the next. And so to wrap this video up, I just want to share with you that if you're an individual that is trying to maybe launch a business by next year, as far as this grant is concerned, I would encourage you to, get your business registered, get your LLC, your EIN number, whatever it will be needed to really kind of begin, the whole process, and start applying for grants now. Start applying for grants now, because of, as you go through, the whole process, you see that, you'll be able to buy yourself time, so that by God willing, next year, when you are really ready to launch and get things off the ground, you may have secured, some grants that will not require you to pay back. So that is also an option for you. So again, just a quick recap, so to wrap this up, for those that have brick and mortar businesses, or are trying to buy a brick and mortar business, have an inspector look into it so that you are not taken by surprise. For those that want to start with little to no capital, you can always do that. All you have to do is be open-minded and do your research to find yourself, such a business that you can start, today with zero or little capital, and you can always snowball your way up to where you need to be. And lastly, if you are looking to start a business by next year or whenever, you can start looking into grants, business grants. These grants doesn't require you to pay back. So if you're able to secure some of these grants, they can definitely, work in your favor to helping you avoid some of these pitfalls. So again, thank you so much for listening. If you found value in this video, please share, like, subscribe to my channel, and please also you can always comment down below, just to just share your thoughts. Everything I've shared is subjective, so if this aligns with your convictions, please let me know. And if you have a different opinion, please do the same. All right. Well, my name is Dr. India Mama, and it's a privilege speaking with you. I will talk to you next time. Take care and stay well. Bye.